Let's begin with the talented edge rusher. A few mock drafts have Azeez Ojulari mocked to the Browns. Some have him going even higher than 26 in the first round. Tell me what you have seen from Ojulari.
Yeah, he's a guy that played 2 seasons and some change in his redshirt year, was coming off an ACL injury, uh, his senior year of high school in the playoffs. And so there was a lot of anticipation for him to kind of come out and play an extensive role in that game in the Sugar Bowl as a true freshman. But with the 4-game red shirt, he only really played 2 seasons at Georgia. But you saw in that first game, now he wasn't finishing against Texas and Sam Ehlinger in that game, but he was getting to the backfield. And so he stepped it up the next couple of years. I think it was 4.5 sacks as a redshirt freshman. And last year, led the SEC in sacks. And really, with the way Georgia plays, they like to put those corners on an island. They really needed a guy like Ojulari to finish and get to the quarterback, and he's going to be desirable there, probably in the 20s, as you mentioned, with the Browns at 26. I would imagine they'd be in the running there.
What's have you seen the dramatic increase from freshman year to sophomore year, and is there a trajectory that you think is going to continue to go up? A young guy by all accounts.
Yeah, I don't think he turns 21 until this summer. So, is a young guy. And there was some speculation that he would even sit out the bowl game, which is kind of, the fashionable thing to do for a guy that's projected in the first round. But he played and probably made himself some money. I think he had 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles in that game against Cincinnati, one of the better teams that Georgia saw outside of Alabama and Florida. I think that was a very wise decision on his part. And get him in a right scheme and 3-4 outside linebacker, probably has potential to become more of an every down guy than just a pure pass rusher. But certainly that's his bread and butter. His skill set is getting towards the quarterback.
Now, if people wanted to put him, more as a hand in the dirt kind of guy and a defensive end, does he have the type of frame that you could add? You mentioned he's a young guy, so the natural aging process will have him fill out. Could you put some extra weight on him and just make him a D end and say go get the quarterback?
That's a good question. I think he's up to about 245, 250. Around the pro days. So there's probably potential at his age to get even bigger, but you don't want to take away his quickness, and that's what he does very well. And probably I think there's a certain scheme that he'd be better at, and it probably will depend on. I'm not sure if he can keep on that weight, if he can get up another 15 or 20 pounds, but certainly at his age, there's probably that potential.
When you look at him, is that a guy you think, yeah, boy, he could really do some damage as a pass rusher?
Certainly, with the game changing, you don't need necessarily the run stopper as much. You want a guy that can really get after the quarterback, and that's what he can do. And he's probably serviceable out in space. If he needs to be covering tight ends and guys out of the backfield.